911, where's your emergency?
400 Progress Drive, Waste Management.
And what's going on there?
I have an emergency. This a maintenance employee that is pinned between the cab and the frame of the truck.
June 6, 6:30. We just got into the Hampton Inn here in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. We're about 15, 20 minutes from the Telford, Pennsylvania hauling company where Edward Schaefer lost his life in that awful accident that we had a few weeks ago. I never met Edward, but I know the kind of guy that he was by listening to Bernie and them talk about him. 34-year veteran of the industry, did things the old way, and had been with Waste Management for a number of years, and had hours and hours and hours of countless training in regards to proper procedures to follow and things to do. And for some reason, we'll never know, there was a shortcut taken, and he tragically lost his life. I've been involved in several of those type fatalities, and I was out managing locations out in the field, 2 or 3, that really had a lasting impact on me. But I've never sat there and watched one of our employees die like 4 or 5 people at this location had to do. I just can't imagine what they were going through with that cab pinned on him. But the more I thought about it, the more that I called and talked to Brian Simmons, and I said, you know, we need to take this tragedy and make something right out of it. I can tell you that I really am just scared to death about tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow's going to look like. I don't know what I'm going to say to those people who were involved in trying to get that cab off of Edward. And, you know, they watched him die. I don't want to intrude on anybody's grieving process at all, because I know they're still grieving over Edward. He had been there for years and was well liked amongst all the employees. We have got to get this story out and try to make sure nothing like this ever happens again. We've got a lot of folks waiting inside that we're going to talk to and interview today. But I just want to lay the groundwork for what this is going to be. This is not going to be a how to prevent something like this from happening. That's not what this is about. This is more of a tribute to one of our employees who died in a tragic accident. This is more about how this tragic incident impacted the people who work here, what they had to live through, and what they had to see, and what they had to witness, and what they've had to deal with since. I can't predict what these people in here are going to say, but you know, my gut's telling me that what I'm going to hear is that they didn't think anything like this would ever happen to them. You know, we're not, we don't manage brigades, we're not law enforcement. People that we hire don't come to work thinking that they're going to die on the job. They don't. If you were running a battalion in Afghanistan or chief of police in a major metropolitan area, you know, there's a chance that one of your officers or one of the soldiers could die in the line of duty. We don't expect that here at Waste Management. So I got a feeling when I walk in the door, I'm going to hear a lot of that. We didn't expect something like that could happen here.
You always heard Ed before you saw him. That's really where he got the name Squeaky from, because he just had this voice that no matter where you were, you heard him. You couldn't see him, but you could always hear him. And he was just a really nice guy, hard-working guy. He was always here. He just loved to do what he was doing. And it was right around 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe 8:05 in the morning on Friday, when I got a phone call from Tony Wright, the senior district manager in this area. And basically he just said, Bernie, we got a serious incident. I don't know how bad it is. I just know that it's serious. You know, it may include a fatality. I said, Tony, do we know who it is? And he says, I think it's Eddie. And, you know, and I'm like, Eddie Schaefer. And he's like, yes. And then, you know, the first thought is, oh my God, you know, just because, you know, you sit there and like, I've known the guy most of my life.
Friday morning, I received a call approximately 7:57 from Matt Pollitt, who told me that he had received a call from Erica that there was a problem with Ed Schaefer up at the shop. Route manager Ben Eden and I responded, jumped in his pickup truck, came up here to the shop, parked up front, and then we came in to the shop here into this bay. We have the truck here. I could see Ed's feet were here. He was in here pinned down by the cab of the truck. I tried to reach in where I could to try to check for his pulse. I couldn't get a good feel of whether there was one. Ben had tried to crank the cab up and it wouldn't go up, so I came around this side here. I came here, the crank was here. I cranked down on it to try to get it to go up. It wouldn't raise. The cab would not go up. It's hard to describe just the abject frustration knowing that the situation he was in. I mean, I couldn't actually check at that instant whether he was still alive or not, but I couldn't get him out. And there's one of my people stuck under there, and I couldn't get him out. I was trying to reach him to see if we could pull him out, and shortly at that point, somewhere just after that, is when the first police officer arrived, and then the fire department came. Somebody had told them that they were going to need the jaws of life to get this up, and at that point there were sufficient people. They got the cab, they got a group of people, got him out from underneath, under the cab and down here, and began to do resuscitation. I don't know what made me think of it. I went over there and said a prayer.
Ed was a big piece of this district. He was the opener. He was here every morning. Every driver saw him every morning. The guy who's going to make your day better. You know, he's going to get your truck fixed, he's going to get you moving. And to see that guy that would a lot of times turn your day around, end up in a situation like this, I think a lot of guys took a step back and realized that there's not a trash can, there's not a brake chamber, there's nothing in this company that we do that's worth taking a chance for.
You know, since this incident, I mean, it's been tough to sleep. I'm kind of up early now, and just you know, because we have guys coming in early, and just it's hard. It's tough. I mean, it was a call that I never thought I would get. What was running through my mind was, I mean, I didn't think he was going to pass away. I mean, I just thought, I thought he'd be all right. Yeah, I knew it wasn't. I know. I knew it wasn't good. You know, he was under the cab. I just didn't think he would, you know, he was going to pass away. And then in the car ride down, Dave was in the back, and I think someone must have told him that Eddie didn't make it. And I kind of looked at Tony, and I don't know if they were trying to not tell me right away, and I looked at him, and he said those words to me, and I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And I'd like to see, you know, what could come out is if other managers out there, you know, sit down with their employees, and if there's one thing that they could take away from this is that, you know, Eddie was a 34-year employee here, and if complacency set in, that, you know, these guys need to know every day, day in, day out, that, you know, you can't take any shortcuts.
We have the procedures and process in place to make sure our employees go home safe every night, the way they came to work. We have them so they're not injured, they're not severely hurt, or, unfortunately, what we're dealing with now at this site is a fatality. I've been attending safety meetings on a regular basis, and asking the guys to quit taking shortcuts. There is also someone at home that loves them and needs them, and also that, you know, safety is free. It's in you got to have it in your heart and in your mind.
Some of our folks spend so much time around this equipment, and they do this stuff day in and day out, these different job tests, these different dangerous job tasks, and our folks become numb to the danger that faces them each day.
It's tough. It's tough. It's the fourth employee in my career. I'm 30 years with the company next week. And it's the fourth employee that I've had to bury. And it is one of the most difficult things as a manager you have to do.
I've known Bernie McHugh, the DO for the eastern part of PA. I've known him for a number of years. I've got to know him a lot better the last couple of years in the new structure of the company since the reorganization in January of '09. You know, I've never, you know, Bernie's a very serious, stern sometimes guy, and you know, this has really brought him to his knees. One of the mechanics that works late at night was getting off work, and he turned around and said to us, you know, I'm glad to be going home today. And it just made me really think that you know, that has a whole new meaning to me. Well, you know, I think the mood, they're all a little nervous about this whole video production today. We've tried to make them feel as comfortable as we can, but one of the people we just finished interviewing here said, you know, I just wanted to go away so I can start living my life the normal way again. I don't know whether that'll ever happen.
Do you know approximately how old he is?
Ed, he's probably about 60.
Okay.
60 years
Do you
old.
know if he's awake and able to talk?
The last update we got, he was unresponsive. I am not on scene. I'm actually we're dealing with a frantic employee calling us from there right now.
So he's pinned between the cab and what?
And the frame of the truck, correct.
All right, the ambulance has been dispatched out, okay? If you hear anything further,
Yes.
can you give us a call? I have you at 300 Progress, the Waste Management Maintenance Shop.
Correct.
Across of Keystone Drive.
Yes.
I was just really in shock. Like, I have never experienced anything like that before. So I can't even remember really what was going through my mind. I just know that all I can just picture is Ed, I can just picture him there. Thinking to himself, maybe he was saying, you know, can you get me out of here? And all I could think about was that I was trying to help him and I couldn't. When I come into work, it's a little hard in the morning getting started. I mean, I don't think I will ever forget it, you know. It seems like in the morning when it's quiet, that's when I think about it the most. Every time I see that truck, it makes me think about it. If you've been taught a certain way to do things by the book, follow the rules, the procedures, the guidelines, and if that means taking 10 extra minutes or 15 extra minutes out of your job, out of your time, to conduct yourself in a safe way, to prepare yourself to do the job in a safe way, then that's what you need to do. It's not worth losing your life over, not being able to go home to your family. It's not worth it.
The site will get through this. It will change them forever. I mean, Bernie will get through it, Ron will get through it, Mike will get through it, and also Erica. But they'll never be the same. It will change them forever.
I put myself in the position, I put my family in that position.